it's just one day. This
I can only refer to myself by myself because of myself is not here to say anything about myself other than what myself needs to say about myself to yourself.
thank you,
Good day.
Herschel.
And see that then I saw this movie and there was a cow and the cow saw
Yeah,
the
where did you
car
start calling
and
me
thought the
Miss
car
Tracy? You're not
was
seven.
fast. And see, the moral of the story is you got to slow down and vote for me.
Funny thing about it is he makes absolutely great sense to himself.
People give him you know what, really though, that story he told about the movie,
Mm.
people giving him a hard time because he is
Yeah.
dumb. But I understood what he was saying.
Oh, I
It's
understand
just the
all
fact
of
that
his
he's
stuff.
dumb.
For the most part, yeah.
No, I
Y'all must
literally
be the
that's
only ones because I
not
was sitting there like in the what, in the vampire, in the who, in the what?
Tracy. What you have to do is take Herschel Walker and take all his speeches and make it as if you was having a common conversation with somebody.
I don't know
Because
nobody
that's what
that
it is.
dense.
He's
I
just
don't know
talking just to,
nobody that dense though. I
he
literally
talks
don't.
just to talk. He just talks just to talk.
That's what
And
I do.
I have no idea. It's not even on the subject that we're talking about.
Yeah,
But
that in like I'm on this kick. I'm back on
Mhm.
my kick about how we have to pay attention to what's being communicated more than what's being said. Because I mean, look at the media right now. They all piling on Herschel Walker and how dumb he is, how unqualified he is. Um, piling on Kyrie, piling on dumbass Kanye. But you got did you see LeBron's James's speech?
mm-mm.
He was like, you
Yeah.
have the time to focus so much on everything a basketball player says, everything an entertainer says. You didn't say hardly anything about Brett Favre. You're not dragging him like you're dragging
Hmm.
Kanye and Kyrie Irving. So why is it that when it's a
Hmm.
black man who does something or says something that you don't agree with, it's news for an extended period of time, but when somebody else says something, you hit it and move on. And he's right.
Gee, I
Amen.
wonder why.
I
He's
mean,
very right.
that's it. We have to start saying out loud that we see you,
Yes.
right? Like, I can't stop that you're doing it, but every time you bring one of us on for an interview and one of our allies on for an interview, that should be brought up. But because the coverage is not equal, it's not even partially balanced.
No, they stopped trying to be balanced a long time ago.
Standard than people who have more, have access to more, and have done more damage. It's so
But here's the deal, Theus, and I've always said this about situations like that. But isn't it on us? Because
no.
they only report what gets clicks, what they get, what people will watch, what people pay attention to, what people will hold conversations about. So if you put out a story and you're not going to get as many clicks as this other story, even though the first story was horrendously more awful than the second story, and you're in the business of making bank, you're going to concentrate more on the second story.
Well, I mean, our hands are not clean. You guys hear me rant all the time about people who just are focused on mess or pettiness or the most negative things that they can. And then on the other hand, claim that they are trying to be so high-minded and they want better and want to do better. Your actions are telling the truth.
Right.
Your mouth is lying,
Mm.
right? And I'm saying just own the fact that you are flawed and you're lying. So our hands aren't clean. Our people are obsessed, generally speaking. Our people are obsessed with being entertained. That's why we still watch the NFL. That's why we still pay attention to what's it? The idiot Kanye hadn't done anything great in probably about 10 years at this point. But when you're talking about major media, though, even though we are hopelessly attached to this consumerism, I wish we weren't, but that's what aspiration will do to you. Um, they're not talking to us. They're talking to their major demographics. who actually are spending the money and buying the ad space. So on the one hand, yes, Marlon, part of it is us because we keep that nonsense going and what we say becomes hot, you know.
Mhm.
But on the other side, they're not talking to us. Like we could all turn around and say, hey, you know what? Stop talking about us like that. And they'll keep doing it anyway because the larger society wants to hear it.
Well, we came out hot on a different subject.
So I'm amped up. Y'all probably gonna see about 3, 4, 5 videos drop.
In a week.
Hey, you know, it depends on how long it takes me to
Good.
edit. Because I'm like, man, I'm so irritated right now. I'm so irritated because people want to be so freaking simple. I'm tired, man.
But it hurts my head when I think.
It really must hurt some of these people's head when
It
they think.
does.
Yo,
I mean, it's too much. Sometimes you need a little break. A
But
little
you know
love
what?
and hip hop ain't never hurt nobody.
But you know what? People say
You
that,
could
right? They be like,
choose
you know what?
something.
Sometimes you need to disconnect and you need a break so you're not always amped up and you're not always blah blah blah. And I'm like, so basically what you're saying is you want to look away.
That's
No,
all you
not
want.
permanently.
Just
Just
admit
For a
the
little
fact that
bit.
you just want to look
Yeah,
away.
just for like an
And
hour, 2
And
hours.
then here's the thing: if you're periodically looking away, that's called mental health. But if you're looking away more than you're looking at it, that's not taking a break. You've been on break.
You
Your
have
ass
people,
need to
Then
be
you're
fired.
not an actor. Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm
with
saying?
you
Like,
have-
you,
you have people who try to dip their toes into stuff that they have shallow levels of information on, and when you push back, excuse me, when you push back on them and show them facts and show them history and show them things like that, then that's when they need to take a break from it. Because
my
they don't.
thing is this, man. It ain't even about the superficial knowledge or superficial things because we all have different interests, right? But if you can tell me all kinds of stuff about celebrities, but you can't tell me much of anything about social issues, I'm not asking you to quote names. That's kind of like I don't need you quoting names and I read this book and that book, right? No, because that's that same flexing that you get from like these like the super religious people who want to Bible thump on you because they can beat you in a debate because they know more verses, or the egghead who thinks they can beat you in a conversation because they can drop 12 authors' names, so you automatically come out sounding like you're discredited, right? I'm not talking about that, but I'm saying you live this life. Like every day, you're walking through life. You're paying bills, you're going to work, you're interacting with people, you have dreams, you have aspirations, you have disappointments. Are you telling me you can't formulate a complete thought on any of that? All you can tell me about is what Kyrie Irving said or what the score is on the Mets game? Sick of these people, man.
We're gonna move on because this was a good Sunday conversation.
Yeah.
Not Saturday.
Y'all don't want to let me have the conversation on Sunday either.
We let you.
You shut me up on Sunday.
First of all, Thea,
Yeah,
nobody can shut you
he's
up.
kinda got a
So I
point
have
there.
no idea where that statement came from. Once you get the rolling, it's like, look, folks, just stay out of the way. Just move. Let him go because
I apologize.
I
It's
still
not
want to
safe.
know why you call me Miss Tracy. You're not 7.
What?
You called me Miss Tracy. You're not 7. Don't call
Marlon
me.
did that?
No, you did that
When did I call you Miss
at
Tracy?
the beginning. I'm like, nah. That. I'm like, ugh.
I might have been saying something and talking too fast. I didn't mean nothing like that.
Don't never.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
That's even worse. I'm not, ma'am.